Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Taryn Tim, I am playing Nazgul Scam. Nazgul is, of course, a character from Lord of the Rings. There are 9 of them, and you can have 9 of them in your deck. And I made sure to get 1 of each art. They couldn't do the set without giving us 9 different Nazgul, and we did it. This is a 1/2 with Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you, and whenever the ring tempts you, put a +1 counter on each Wraith you control. It is itself a Wraith, and on ETB, the ring tempts you, so it is kind of a 2/3. They could, like, Unholy Heat it in response to its trigger, I suppose. But basically on rate, if you cast a spell, the ring tempts you, and you get a 2/3. The second Nazgul, the ring tempts you, and then the first one is a 3/4, etc., etc. And the more you have, the better it gets, because they all grow each other. And we've seen the ring tempting slowly take over normal games of Legacy. This deck is pretty dedicated to getting the ring tempting you fast and hard. Call of the Ring is here. At the beginning of your upkeep, the ring tempts you, and whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life if you do draw a card. That means the ring tempts you in your upkeep, no matter what. Just tick tick, that's going up. If you have any creature, you can pay 2 life and draw a card. And this doesn't only trigger itself. Every time you play a Nazgul, you can also pay 2 life and draw a card. This pretty sick engine here. Changeling Outcast might look weird, but guess what? It's a Wraith. It's an unblockable 1/1 that whenever the ring tempts you, you get a +1 counter for every Nazgul you have in play onto this thing as well. And it pitches to Grief, just filling out those black count. We got Grief, Troll of Khazad-dûm, and 4 Reanimates. We're doing the scam thing here. The Reanimates can also rebuy Nazguls. You see what's going on here. Cling to Dust is acknowledgement that both this deck needs life gain, and it needs ways to interact with something like Uro in the main deck. The one of Shadow Spear, an earlier shell of this was a Urza Saga deck, but we determined that that was too much colorless mana, and the constructs were never going to be very big. But the Shadow Spear is still in the deck because just getting lifelink on one of these things is pretty great. Which leads me to possibly the most suspicious piece of technology. Taryn Tim doesn't know I did this, but I added Whip of Erebos to the deck. Creatures you control have lifelink, and 2 black tap, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step. Whip is obviously a bit of a clunker for the Legacy format, but I think if the other options for this slot, like a second copy of Shadow Spear or the One Ring, was floated in our conversations, but that hurts you, it doesn't gain you. And we are already a Reanimate deck. This thing has some reanimation on it. If you stick this one big combat with 1 or 2 Nazguls, and you're out of life concern for quite some time. And we are concerned about life because Thoughtseize, Call of the Ring, Ancient Tomb, and Reanimate all hurt you when you do stuff. Just gotta keep that in mind when you're building decks like this. And obviously, Nazgul is not really a card generally considered to be Legacy playable. I think that's fair to say. But tucking it into this black shell and giving the deck the tools to survive in a higher power format is a fun exercise. And I hope we get to really flex the ring. I've played some Sam decks, I've played some Sauron's Ransoms in my life, but truly just always having the ring at 4 in almost every game we play is going to be pretty cool. And let's see how that adds up. This is Taryn Tim's Nazgul Scam. I'm on the draw in round 1. I do have a turn 1 Fatal Push into turn 2 Nazgul. I also have the one of Karakas, because your Ring Bearer is legendary. That's just part of the text of Ring Bearers and the ring. Alright, Chalice of the Void. Yeah, it turns off my Fatal Push, but not a huge deal against my deck overall. Dark Ritual's not part of the engine or anything. Okay. Fast in the turn here. Let's see what this City of Traders Chalice of the Void is going to be followed up with. Just kind of hoping it's not an initiative creature. I can handle a Rabble Master. Unlicensed Source, disappointing. And Den of the Bugbear. So they are red. That turns off the graveyard parts of my deck, but that's not the part that is currently being used as I draw Reanimate. All right, Nazgul, get in there. I want you all to know that in my brain, I was just thinking the screeching sound that the Nazgul make in the Lord of the Rings movies, and like I will yield to my better judgment and not try to make that sound at any point in this video. Though it did just occur to me. The screech tempts me. So in the current position, I have 3 dead cards in my hand because of Chalice. I have 1 very live card, Sheoldred's Edict, could be great here. And then, if they don't kill this Nazgul this turn, at the very least, I could Caracas, refire it, and then it's also a looter next turn. And I can start looting away these 1-drops that don't work. If they take the initiative here, I can Edict them, and then I have the initiative. Or they could just pitch a Fury. My poor Nazgul. Alright. Now we're going to have to figure out another plan. Oh, there's more. Rabble Master. Alright, well, I can Sheoldred's Edict that. I can choose non-token, so the actual Rabble Master has to die. But I do actually need to get something happening here. Another Swamp. I'm not going to reveal my Caracas just yet. And I would rather deal with Rabble Master ASAP. Though, if I get Voidwalker down first, no, I have to take such a huge hit for that. No thanks. I'm just going to Edict them. Ooh, they could sack their unlicensed Hearse. That's tricky. I mean, I'm okay if they do that, though. They're eating my Nazgul. If they're going to sack Hearse to Shoulder the Edict, I would at least like them to not be able to attack with Rabble Master to do that. So doing it as they pass priority out of their main phase, I think is the right time here. Unlicensed Hearse, what a beating, though. Sacrifice a non-token creature, please. Okay, they did not activate the Hearse. They still like that, which means I like that. Do have a little bit of graveyard stuff going on in my deck. And they just pass without a play. Give me some of that. Caracas, Tothy Voidwalker. I drew enough 1-drops here. I think we're cool deck. Though my next Nazgul gets to start looting them away. Unlicensed Hearse ate their graveyard on the way out. It's a 4/4 if they activate it. Remember when I said my deck doesn't care that much about Chalice of the Void? I was mistaken. They can keep attacking because my creature can't block. And we're just in my turn. Big Trolley, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 1 away from casting this thing. And land number 6 doesn't help me right now. Yeah, I'm just going to attack with Voidwalker. Just putting this troll into play from my hand is way better than just grabbing a swamp here. And I won't hear any arguments to the contrary. This Hearse is big enough to swing the game on its own as soon as I can crew it, though. And they still just poked for 1 and passed. Oh, jeez. My life is pain. Okay, attacking with my Voidwalker. This Chalice has been shockingly effective. Okay, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. I guess I do have 15 1-drops in my deck. That's a lot more than I thought I had. Fable the Mirror Breaker, okay. The Shitter can immediately crew the Hearse and flip this race all over me. I am in trouble. And they do know how this works, unfortunately. I was hoping they would just forget because of the edict earlier. But looks like they're in there. Taking 6. As far as they know, they're dead to Helm of Obedience. I do have 5. Not a card I play, but they don't need to know that. Alright. I do understand that my deck is 1/4 1-drops, but basically every card I drew that game was a 1-drop. Whack. I just realized Retrofitter Foundry is still in the deck, which probably shouldn't be, now that we're not a Saga strategy anymore. I like Palantir, I like Sheoldred's Edict. Opposition Agent is like a creature I can put into play. Cling to Dust, not important to this matchup, even if we're not accounting for Chalice of the Void. The graveyard stuff is a little risky because they not only have Chalice of the Void that turns off Reanimate, but they also have Unlicensed Hearse. I think I am going to get a little skinnier on Reanimate. Cutting 4 cards for 4 cards. Everything I'm cutting is a 1-drop, just in case. And I'm going to send it like this. Okay, I can Thoughtseize them for sure. And then maybe grief them too if I'm feeling nervous. I am going to lead on the Thoughtseize. I'd rather 1-for-1 if I can. I don't think the tempo of having Changeling Outcast into play right away is going to make or break my game here. Okay, Fiery Confluence, Fury, Caves of Chaos Adventure, Fable. I could take Chrome Mox and just slow them down a lot. If I take the Fable and then grief the Caves of Chaos Adventure, that's actually a pretty good stuff. I'm going to do that. They are one Simian Spirit Guide away from turn 1ing this Caves of Chaos Adventure, which I can just never beat. So I am going to grief pitching Oppo here and take the Adventurer. Okay. Now I need a land to get this Nazgul into play, and then we're cooking. A perfectly normal thing to be said in games of Legacy. Honestly, my best draw is Reanimate, and I just take their Caves of Chaos Adventure. Okay. 1/1 creature, unblockable. Good luck with that. Basic Mountain that was not in their hand last time I saw it. Opposition Agent is a card I can play. I can also Nazgul here. I know they have Fiery Confluence that can just sweep up the board, but I think it's worth getting the first ring trigger in. Ring tempts me. I'm going to make Changeling Outcast my ring bearer. We have our first Wraith trigger. That actually does matter because now they have to Fiery Confluence. They can't Fury to clear my board. But that also means that Fury can come down hardcast the turn after that and then also be a Fury. Kind of regretting cutting a Reanimate based on how this game is shaken out. Chrome Mox, Exile and Blood Moon, good call. City of Traders. Or are they just casting Fury here? Cool. So that kills the Nazgul. I keep my unblockable Ring Bearer. And now I'd like to draw another Nazi-G. Is that cringe? It's definitely cringe. Alright. Caracas can save my Changeling Outcast if it needs to. Unfortunately, bouncing this and replaying it just makes it smaller and doesn't actually do anything, though. Fury's getting in. Opposition Agent and Changeling Outcast both being X2s versus that Fiery Confluence is terrifying. I don't think I can even afford to play this thing. Oh. Hello there. Serious question, though. What is the target? In 2 turns ago, it would have been Caves of Chaos Adventure. Maybe it just still is. If they Fiery Confluence, they have to lose their Fury, and then I still have the initiative. Yeah, I'm taking the Chaos homie. Initiative is mine. I have plenty of basics to tutor for. Fiery Confluence can put me to 2. Just heads up. Watch out for that. Grabbing a swamp, playing the swamp. And I'm going to attack my Outcast. Can't block anyway. Okay, please don't have, like, anything tricky or with haste. Or don't stomp my face. This is actually super close. Like, weirdly close, considering how good their hand lined up against mine. Okay, 5 mana in the pool, and they played land number 6. What is this, like, Big Chandra or some bullshit that I can never beat? Shatter Skull Smashing? What do we got? Just show it to me. It is Shatter Skull Smashing. Okay. That means I can chump block Fury with Oppo, and I get at least 1 turn in the Lost Well. Opposition Agent, get in there. Block. Not pretty, but we're staying alive. And I should not forge. I definitely have to go into the Lost Well. Come on, deck. Removal spell. Nazgul. Oh, what a silly thing. Definitely. Oh, do I want Thoughtseize, actually? I can't draw 2 cards here, is the problem. Yeah, if I could Thoughtseize and Nazgul here, I would do it. Make sure that Sweeper's gone. But that's not enough. What even are my draws here? It's Edict. I would definitely put Thoughtseize on the bottom. I'm thinking if this Nazgul is even remotely something I'm interested in. God, Fury's so big. I think I do want this. And I will make it my ring bearer. So I can bounce it with Caracas. Then I'm at 2. Or no, then I'm dead. Shit, I think I just miscalculated. No, this comes in as a 2/3. Right, that's how that works. I missed a damage. I was thinking I'm going to make this the ring bearer so I can do it after combat. But yeah, just missing a damage there. It's just pretty bad. Okay, big Nazgul, my ring bearer. If they play the Sweeper, I can bounce the Nazgul. If they just attack with Fury, I can block bounce. Yeah, it sucks I missed that damage. I do feel pretty bad about that. Legion War Boss. Okay. This makes a 1/1 haste that has to fight. I don't have anything with lifelink. Yeah, so I guess I block bounce here, and I lose the initiative. But I get the initiative back. I have an unblockable 4/4. Okay. This game is weird as shit. Okay, draw for turn, Troll of Khazad-dûm. Nazgul can goad or stash, and I get to loot. Okay, here we go. Wraith, make it happen. I'm going to attempt to put the ring on the Changeling Outcast. I think I need the loot here more than I need Caracas Tricks. Attack, loot, come on, removal spell. Prismatic Vista is not it. Okay. I get to go into the stash, or do I need to goad? I think I've just lost here, and it doesn't matter. Okay, I'll go into the stash, and then I will lose the game. This was cool. I mean, it was almost tricky. I missed 1 point of damage. That ended up not mattering, and it took multiple sweepers, and one of their sweepers had to be one that can also just go face for 8. Yeah, GG. That was fun, though. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play in round 2 with, I have Grief Scam, but it's not actually going anywhere. I think I still keep it. And I think I pitch one of the Nazguls to the Grief. I can pitch the Whip, it is black, but I have high hopes for that card. Maybe unfairly, but I actually think getting lifelink on like 7 power worth of creatures could be a game changer. I'm going to pitch a Nazgul and move forward with my plan. Or I'll just take your Archon of Cruelty, you dummy. How dare you cue into me with Reanimator on the day of my daughter's wedding. Bang. Thank you. And then they can Grief Reanimate my Nazgul, and we can see what we want to do about this. Okay, sweet. You know, I know that is like part of the format that even fair decks are playing Grief now, and if you have big creatures, they can be taken, but holy smokes, that felt good. Grief pitching Animate dead. They're probably thinking, surely there will be a creature worth reanimating in this graveyard. Wrong. There's a Nazgul and a Whip of Erebos, and you're losing to this. Time to quit Magic. And they did take the Nazgul. You better. It does literally anything, unlike anything else that's going on here. I'm going to attack first. Attacking first versus Thought Seizing first. They're going to keep the card they like the best. That's funny. They probably think I'm a fool for attacking, but I had it covered. Boop. So now if they rip, or they can't cast this Reanimate anyway, but yeah, they're at 8. They would just die if they cast it. That was sweet. Let's do more of that. Okay, Opposition Agent, Leyline of the Void, obviously coming in. Shelter's Edict. I don't really want to plan for a world where there is a monster in play, but maybe I should. Fatal Push sucks. Cling to Dust is great. I don't think this is a Whip matchup. I don't think it's a Shadow Spear matchup either. We're going to be like way ahead or way behind. The main deck Clings, the main deck Dauthi Voidwalkers. This is a matchup I have respected in deck building. I think Changeling Outcast should come out and Shelter's Edict in. Again, we're not going to win because we have a slowly growing unblockable creature. We're going to win because we shut down their whole deck. And that's how I'm going to do this. Let's run it. Yeah, if Thoughtseize and Graveyard Hate and turn to Opposition Agent, they kept 7. That sucks. I'm going to keep. I know there's not a leyline here, which is what I'd really like. If they just turn 1 me, they got me. But hopefully they have a slow hand that has to respect Surgical Extraction a little bit. They're just firing Grief in, pitching an Exhume. Okay, they know my secrets now. Thoughtseize and Cling are both great 1-mana cards that are in my hand right now. which means they do either have to go off right now or reanimate the Grief and take both and then rebuild from nothing in the graveyard. They could also try to get super clever by taking my Voidwalker and reanimating that and then just starting the beatdowns. I think that's worse than Grief, though. I like to imagine that moving my cards around in my hand while my opponent's thought seizing me is confusing them. And maybe they'll misclick because it's in a different spot. I'm fairly confident they don't see my cards moving, but if they do, boy, am I being annoying right now. And they went with the Voidwalker ultimately. Let's see if they're bringing that back right now or if that's just the thing they least want to play around going along. A Scrubland. And they're re-griefing me, which means that either Cleaned at Us or Thoughtseize at minimum will still be in my hand. Cool. Ooh, I have a Grief now. I'm still going to Thoughtseize them. Hope there's not just 3 monsters in the hand and I'm enabling them. Take the Unmask, leave you with Archon. Okay. Hope they don't draw Faithless Looting right now. There's the Badlands. Their hand is Archon. The Grief beats begin. I can follow back with Opposition Agent. And I could actually just trade with Grief right now with Bowmaster, because it is 2 creatures to deal with Menace. I would rather have Oppo in, though. And mana up. Okay, here she goes. He goes? She goes. She goes, yeah. Troll of Khazad-dûm. That's a thing they could reanimate. I could also just cling it in response if they do. And if I cycle Troll, I can cast Grief next turn and just add something to the board. I think that's worth doing. And Cling exiling a creature is worth a Grief attack. We go to 7 off this attack. I'm going to play Bowmaster in the end step if nothing else happens. Oh. Woof. That's a dirty trick. I would love to kill Grief here, but I can't let them just draw Reanimate when I have Cling to Dust in my hand. Discarded Grizzlebrand and Archon. 3 cards in there now. Oh no, I'm being griefed. That's really bad. Which of these am I less interested in playing against? I mean, they're both horrendous. Okay, I'm going to Cling the Archon, though. I think I'm more worried about that one. Okay. Is your last card exactly Reanimate? If it's Animate Dead or Exhume, I have a turn to figure this out. Okay. They did not hit me with the last card in their hand. I can escape Cling from my graveyard, or I could play the Grief, get them empty. I'm playing the Grief. You can't stop me. Taking an Exhume, okay. Now, you go to 9, I go to 5, you go to 3, I go to 2, I win. I'm winning the race if they don't top deck. And I think putting them in that spot is fine. Versus holding up the Cling on a board state that I guess I'm not really losing the race, but Cling doesn't gain 3, it gains 1 because of the Ancient Tomb. Yeah, okay, cool. That was scrappy. I am counting this as a victory for the Nazgul, even though there was not one in play during either of the games. Let's go.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
On the draw in round 3, opponent has kept 7. I'm going to keep as well. I have a Grief to get things going, and then Call the Ring, which is one of the more exciting cards in my deck. Aether Vial. Alright, I'm getting Death and Taxes energy here. I know, what a fucking rocket scientist I am. Basic Plains Aether Vial. I think it's Death and Taxes. Okay, I can... Drawing the other Nazgul kind of rules, because now I don't feel bad about pitching one. What you working with? Flicker Wisp, Loran, Swords to Plowshares, Iganjo, Rishadenport. Loran and Flicker Wisp both die to Orcish Bowmaster. Flicker Wisp is a better card. Oh no, I'm literally planning to curve into an enchantment here. Nope, Loran's gonna go. I do think Flicker Wisp is a better card. Maybe I just kind of have to force them to play out the Loran, and I just play creatures first. Yeah, I just think Flicker Wisp is enough better than Loran that that's not what I'm going to do. They do get to, annoyingly, Rishadenport me here and keep me off my Nazgul curve. My busted Nazgul curve. Port me they shall. And yeah, I've got a Prismatic Vista. I'll just crack it now before they can mess with it in any kind of way. And I can cast Nazgul next turn even through the Rashadan Port. They found a Plains. They found a Mother. Okay. So I'm actually just going to Bowmaster their Mother here. Get this in. Take out the 1/1 while I can still kill anything. That's answered. And I have a creature on board now. Reanimate. Don't mind if I do. How about a Grief? I believe that's better than the Flicker Wisp in their graveyard. Scamming and jamming, kids. It's like they didn't even have Rashadan Port. I actually am going to take the Loran because I have enough creatures here that I don't care about Swords to Plowshares. And as long as this Call of the Ring can keep drawing cards for the rest of the game, we're cooking. I feel like Grief should be allowed to be a Wraith in this deck. Wraith Erasure happening in Modern Horizons too. What is a Wraith if not a big, smoky, bad guy? There's the Iganjo, cool. Okay, they're Hellbent, but this either Vial or this Rashadan Port actually is a pretty big beating right now because I would be able to Call the Ring, Nazgul, immediately draw a card if they didn't tap my land. I think I want Call of the Ring more than I want Nazgul right now. Okay, Call of the Ring. Let's get the card advantage pumping. I will make my Orc army the Ring Bearer because... Or no, I don't care about Orcish Bowmaster getting bounced by Caracas. That actually rules. No, I am going to do Bowmaster. But they are in top deck mode. They are not a Yorion build. I don't have to worry about that. I just need to avoid some bullshit like top deck Stoneforge Mystic right now. That would actually be tough to race. Okay, they're passing the turn. I am actually going to tempt the Orc army after all, because them passing like that, if they just had, I guess, if they have a removal spell, it's worse. All right, I'm going to pay 2 life and draw a card. Grief, okay. Still a card in my deck, turns out. Backup Call of the Ring. All right, I'm not in a big hurry to pay multiple life multiple times. If we get there, we get there. The Orc army is still going to be my Ring Bearer, and you do still choose a Ring Bearer even if it stays on the same spot, which means Call the Ring keeps triggering. I would like to keep drawing cards. And then I would like to attack and loot with my Ring Bearer. I'll leave Bowmaster at home. There's a lot of stuff that could jump out of this vial and kill a Bowmaster. Oh, it might happen now. Solid. Okay, deleting my token. So everything I said about, like, you know, choosing one of these for one reason and one of them for a different reason, just walked into the Flicker Wisp, which is the, I think, less likely thing, but did punish me for Xaxes. And I attack with Bowmaster there because I'm happy to trade with Flicker Wisp. So now they have a Flying Clock, and they are making their move here. Ring tempts me. They're porting my port, or porting my tube in response. I'm going to tempt the Bowmaster because there's also evasion on that. Drew another Nazgul. Drawing a Swamp for turn would be sick here. Sheoldred's Edict. I don't hate that either. I'm just going to go to combat first. I could still draw a Swamp off my loot. Thoughtseize. I'm not interested in that at this point. And I'm going to play Outcast plus Edict. I think if I take the pressure off, I'm doing great here. Outcast and pass. There's no point in griefing because they could just vial in anything. I'm going to Edict right now. They didn't vial in the end step, and I don't want to be taking 3 points of flying every turn from this thing. And when the ring tempts me in my upkeep, the Nazgul is going to trigger, adding +2 to these 2 creatures, +1 each, but, you know, 2 total. And I get to draw a card, then play another Nazgul, then that's another +2 on these. So I'm going to be attacking for 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then when the ring hits them, they take another 3. Stoneforge Mystic, pretty good. A little late because I have the Grief now. Oh, they're going for Jute. Fascinating. Okay. Which taps them out of Rashadan Port. Okay. See what we can make happen here. The ring tempts me. We'll start there. I'm going to keep Orcish Bowmaster as my Ring Bearer because Stoneforge can't block it when it's the Ring Bearer. I am going to pay 2 life. Found a removal spell. Good stuff. Cling to Dust. Now I can gain life as well. Okay, what happens if I just slam another Nazgul right now? That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. Or creatures with greater power, right? Okay. So I'm not safe from that. I think I'm going to grief them, pitching the backup Call the Ring. And if they vial in response, I'll Edict. I just want to make sure I'm not getting BTFO'd this combat. In response, Edict. Edicting there is free and safe because... Okay. Well, that's spooky. Edicting there is good because even if they put in a creature better than Stoneforge, they would simply sacrifice the Stoneforge anyway. Okay. Whenever your Ring Bearer attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Okay, that is not optional. That hurts. If that's the case, yeah, I'm still just one short everywhere I go. All right. I don't have to attack with the Ring Bearer, I guess. But is putting a Nazgul directly into the graveyard even that big of a deal in exchange for dealing 3 damage to them? I'm in for that. And I'm going to leave Nazgul back as a blocker. Assume as I was Jite as a troublemaker. Okay, I have to discard a Nazgul. I want this Cling to Dust. I think gaining 3 life might just flip this game for me at some point. Okay, opponent's at 7. They left their vials where they are. They're drawn off the top. They can equip this Jite, if nothing else. This Spirit is on a one-way trip if it does fire in here. And they are losing if it doesn't. So kind of forced action here, which unlocks my draw engine. Okay, they are just minusing Jite now, clearing the Nazgul. A lot of respect. And a Wasteland. Okay. That's pretty potent, actually. Now I can decide if I'd rather gain 3 life or draw a card in the end step. Because they're gonna... I'm gonna gain 3 life. Because gaining 3 life also kind of draws me a card. With Call the Ring in the mix here. It ring tempts me. They poured a Swamp. I'm gonna keep Bowmaster as my thing. And I am gonna draw the card. If I find the Swamp, we get to just ghoul them out here. Drew a Reanimate, but it's better to win with Ghoul. Boom. Alright, Changeling Outcast can be the guy now. And they are Hellbent and dead, so I'm just going to keep drawing cards. Bang. Dead for Xaxes. With the ring trigger. Splat. Oh yeah, that was sick. Death and Taxes. Pithing Needle, Fatal Push, Sheoldred's Edict, Opposition Agent. Coming in. Things that are less good. Cling to Dust. Mostly just life gain in the matchup. Dothy Voidwalker is not great. That's just an unblockable creature, and like maybe I could Thoughtseize their Cauldron or something, but whatever. And I think I can safely back off of a Changeling Outcast, like in most situations. Okay. I like this configuration. Null Rod does turn off Jites and Aether Vials and stuff. Also turns off my Shadow Spear and my Whip. Alright, I'm going to leave the Null Rods at home for now and see if I can just take this match home with my removal spells. And my hand has a removal spell, a draw engine, and lots of mana. Depending on how fast they come out of the gates here, could be in trouble. That was a good start. Ooh, Bowmaster. Maybe someday. I am just going to fetch now before they can mess with it. Get that out of the way. I don't think I cycled a Troll. What's the rush? Okay, cool. They left their mother exposed to some Sheoldred's Edict action. I could get the ring tempting me, or I think I'd rather just leave up this removal action. Could also send a Grief their way, exiling the Troll probably. Though I can just cast Grief next turn. No, I'm gonna wait. Recruiter of the Guard. I'm gonna Edict now. Delete your mother. And then I can Grief whatever they tutor for here. Flicker Wisp, okay. They're trying to get their engine set up. Though, interesting thing here is Orcish Bowmaster could also blow out Flicker Wisp. I think I'd rather just cast the Grief, though, and be super safe here. If Ancient Tomb worked in a way where I could cast Call of the Ring on my turn and then also Bowmaster them on theirs in response to Flicker Wisp, I would set that up. Like if I just had 4 Swamps and this wasn't Ancient Tomb plus 2 Swamps, I would do it that way. Their hand has Skyclave Apparition, which if they use, I get a 4/4 at some point. I like that way better than leaving them with Flicker Wisp. Now they got to decide if they want a 4/4 in the bank or not. Schadenport. Swords of Plowshares. Okay. They don't want a 4/4 in the bank. They're going to port me, and I'm going to cast Orcish Bowmaster and cycle Troll of Khazad-dûm and play Call of the Ring this turn, even through the Rajadn port. Going for the Tomb. Here's the Bowmaster. With a nice 1-1 it lines up against. With that floating mana Swamp Cycle. Grab a Swamp. And then I draw for turn. I will continue fetching swamps out of my deck, even though it's free information. Call the Ring. Draw Engine online. Skyclave Apparition hitting Call the Ring is probably necessary here, and then I slam Troll. Or they have exactly enough to port and Apparition. Okay. They're clinging to life over there. Desperately. Come on, Nazgul. Porting the Tomb. Drawing all these fetch lands. No good attacks here. Now we're in the dregs, where nobody's really doing anything, and that favors taxes. I have some good draws, but I am worried. Lion Sash, shit. Now they have Graveyard Hate. That makes my life more difficult. Come on, a spell. Something useful. They're still porting my Tomb. Hey, I'll take that. Old Super Menace coming in. And we'll see, they might just Swords to Plowshares this, or even worse, Solitude it. We're at that phase of the game, but they have just been drawing off the top of their deck the last few turns. Maybe, in some world, today is the day, the first day in history, where Death and Taxes didn't draw exactly what they need with no manipulation. It's never happened before, but I'm allowed to hope. This Lion Sash can be bigger than Troll within one turn cycle. It still can't block it because I have Super Menace, but it is important to the race. Recruiter, great. Here comes whatever they need. Are we going to see Solitude here? Or do they have something even better? Yep, Solitude. And they can even pretty easily afford to take 6 here and just hardcast Solitude next turn. Except no, you can't. Got him. Well, I'll attack first. See if they want to take their Reckless triple block. And then I will make them pitch a card. And hopefully their last card in hand is not a land. Because if they pitch Solitude here and then Thoughtseize resolves, they just have no hand. Maybe they don't have the white card. Hand is 2 equipment. Though I probably can't beat any 2 equipment at random. Ooh, they pitched Cataclysm. Good to have that one on the radar. Alright, Troll's gone. What's your last card? Jite. Alright. We successfully hellbent them. And they know about this basic swamp from 100 years ago. I'm still using Prismatic Vista because it is correct to do. Yeah, I don't have a Plague Engineer or Dread of Night or anything like that in this deck. The old turn 8 Aether Vial from Hellbent. This Lion Sash is huge, though, and reanimates a dead draw. Just like a Fatal Push would be pretty great here. And they figured out they can attack. And the chump block here means that Skyclave Apparition can start bashing next turn. I need a real spell. Oh no. Oh, Lion Sash, curses. Okay, I'm good. I don't have a sweeper in my deck. We don't need to keep doing this. I think I want my Voidwalkers back in. They just push damage really well. Are they better than Changeling Outcast, though? Probably, because like I could end up with a Batterskull or a Cauldra this way. Okay, get back in there. I have a Fatal Push and a turn 2 Nazgul. And a turn 3 Nazgul. We're doing it. Living the dream. The nuts. I hope they play a Mother of Runes here. Just let me curve out perfectly. Yeah! Shadow Realm. Though, if they have a Wasteland, I'm in some amount of trouble here. I'm actually just going to pass. This Opposition Agent changes my play pretty significantly. Like, if they jam Stoneforge Mystic, I want to just take it. Thalia. Okay. That one I care less about. I'm still going to Oppo in the end step. Can I have a land? Yeah, I can. Always had it. Alright, I'm going to start ghouling out here. And I'm going to make the Nazgul the Ring Bearer, because it's bigger and can actually attack. Played Iganjo as their land. Apparition, going to take my Ghoul. Oh no, obviously Opposition Agent's a better card. Never mind. Duh. I'm in my Ghoul sauce over here. I just don't even know what's going on. Okay, if I play another Nazgul and attack, I get a loot. Alright, yeah, I'm just going big ghouls here. Keep this one as the Ring Bearer. Oh wait, these stack on each other. Whenever the ring tips. Yeah, I forgot that they stack. Wow, that just didn't even occur to me until this very moment. I don't think I want... It's either Reanimate or Call the Ring that's going to go. I'm going to discard the Call of the Ring. I have hope for Reanimate. Yeah, it just didn't even occur to me that the third Nazgul gives the whole squad +3/+3. Wow. Okay. I'm a lot more excited all of a sudden. I'd be very excited if I draw a basic swamp next turn and can cast Shoulder's Edict and Nazgul. Or no, I can't do that anyway. Nazgul plus Reanimate. Is that even good? Unclear. Opponent's taken a really long time on their turn. They've tapped an untapped mana multiple times. They must be in a tough spot, and I like it. Okay, Recruiter of the Guard, do your thing. Are they going to have to get an Emergency Solitude here? I mean, not that Solitude's bad, but like, if they have to pitch cast that just to still be doing anything and still be part of this board at all, and then I can reanimate it and take out something that I care about on your side, Solitude's kind of dangerous in their graveyard as your creature deck versus the reanimate deck. Bowmaster, that card kills Thalia. Do I care about that? I don't think so, at least not compared to additional ghouling. Additional ghouls. Ring tempts me. They should Solitude now if they're going to do it. Okay, they did not. I'm going to put the ring on the medium size one. So now if they're going to Solitude, they don't get my biggest creature. Wow, that's pretty bonkers when you get a bunch of these. I see the appeal. Yeah, they got a Solitude now if they don't want me to loot. Here it comes, pitching Lion Sash. Glad to see that one go. Okay, do they want to deal with the loot or the extra damage? The loot is the answer. Okay. Attack with my 7/8 Death Touch. Now next turn I can Orcish Bowmaster, kill Thalia, reanimate Solitude, kill something else, mash with my pals. And that's only if nothing better shows up. Okay, go. Thalia's been a force on this game. I think they would have been dead a long time ago if this was just Stoneforge Mystic or any other 2-drop. But that is what she does. She is the reason this deck is allowed to exist. Cataclysm not even good here. Go ahead, fire it. Oh, you can't because of Thalia, right? I would allow it. I would allow us to overlook the rules and let you cast Cataclysm here if you wanted to. Okay, they just passed a second Bowmaster. Interesting. Do I just move to combat first, see what they're working with? And I can Bowmaster the Thalia and then Shoulder's Edict, the Apparition. This is 11 damage. Yeah, they're not dead. Not even close, actually. Okay, I am going to go for the Bowmaster line. It's here. It's clean. I'm taking it. Bowmaster hit Thalia. And then Edict, have you lose a creature. And then bash for 11. I mean, Cataclysm is pretty strong now, but I keep the biggest Wraith and then reanimate the other one. And they're still just damn near dead. Something's happening. Whoa, a card I've never seen in my life. Werefox Bodyguard. This enters the battlefield. Exile up to one other target non-fox creature until this leaves the battlefield. Sacrifice this, you gain 2 life. Okay. So this can shrink my Wraith, I guess. Or it can put Skyclave Apparition under it, and then they exile a different Wraith. Okay, that does appear to be the plan. I get my 3/3. You lose your 2/2. You eat my 7/8. Okay, that was a pretty fun turn. I was not playing around a Flash Oblivion Ring creature. I was unaware of that card's existence. But that's why we test. Attacking with my existing ghoul, my remaining ghoul. Bowmaster plus Reanimate on the menu next turn if I want them both. And if I draw another Nazgul or a Route 2/1, my Ring Bearer is fully gassed up. Hypothetically, if they were to Cataclysm here, I think I would just keep the Illusion token and put the Nazgul in the graveyard where I can reanimate it. It's better there than anywhere else. Umazawa's Jite, okay. Are we going nuclear or just sitting back on defense with this? And attacking with it doesn't sound very good. And not attacking with it, they lose to Solitude. If they send it in, I'll block with Illusion, then they can finish off the Illusion and kill the Bowmaster, and then they're taking 5s on an empty board. Or they're actually taking 8 on an empty board. Yeah, no good play there. Ooh, Flagstones, Flagstones, the combo. That legend rules, they get a Plains. Grief. Not a card I want right now. I want your Solitude, please and thank you. I'll take that. Exile Skyclave Apparition. I get another 3/3. And I'm going to attack with what I have here. I am worried about Cataclysm. Right, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can make it 11. Now, I'll just hang back the Bowmaster in case there is a sweeper coming. Yeah! Hard-fought victory versus Death and Taxes. I was today years old when I learned that the Nazgul stack, and that is awesome. Unbeatable. Let's keep rolling. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw in round 4. I have 2 lands here, and Cling to Dust can cycle. I'm going to keep. I wish this had a Grief, but I'm rocking out here. I'll hit my land drops. Hope they're a creature deck. They're on 6. Windswept Heath. Usually a good sign. That's rarely in decks that don't have creatures. Bant Control is a deck that doesn't do a lot of that. But Fatal Push here, and then I can cycle into Reanimate next turn. That Reanimate was a spicy draw. Reclaimer, okay. And Gaia's Cradle. Alright, so I would say it's Cradle Control, but it doesn't even really look like that. The halflings are weird. Okay, I can cycle Troll, shove Troll into play, maybe just die. Or I can cycle Troll, Fatal Push, the Reclaimer, and see what the turn after that looks like. I mean, cycling Troll is definitely going to happen. I can just try to get him dead here. I am just going to try to get him dead here, I think. So I can functionally Fatal Push them off 2 mana. But if they untap with Bajuka Bog up, then I never get to reanimate again. If they play Grist here, that just kills my Troll. I could just go for the Reclaimer. I think I'm going to try to race. If this Elvish Reclaimer was like Birds of Paradise or something, I would have Fatal Pushed one of the dorks, but specifically that being Graveyard Hate sucks. And if they just Natural Order into Atraxa this turn, whatever, you got me. Certainly appears to be what's happening. Oh no, this is a Zenith. Alright, so they do have Grist after all. But it's going to cost them a Dryad Arbor to do the thing. Okay. That wasn't ideal, but it wasn't complete dog shit either. Attacking me with some stuff. Nazgul. I'm going to Cling to Dust their Windswept Heath first. I'd rather draw a card than gain 3 life, and I'd love to hit my land drop here. Got there. That means I can Fatal Push the Halfling. Nope. Reclaimer. What am I more worried about here? With 1 card in their hand, I think it's Reclaimer. Push Reclaimer and Changeling Outcast. Yeah, that can kill Grist next turn, because I play a Nazgul, this becomes an unblockable 2-2. Okay, we're grinding back in. Insect Token, milled over Fiend Artisan. 4 men in the pool. Jesus, I'm just getting Natural Ordered anyway. Why? Why am I not allowed to do anything? That was such a cool game up to this point. And now my opponent's just a big dickhead. At 7 life versus this Atraxa, what even is my plan here? I don't think I have one. They took Bajuka Bog off the Atraxa. They took Bog, Reclaimer, Natural Order. Yeah, I don't think I... Oh, I have Caracas in my deck. Can I draw that, please? Nope, not yet. I'm going to Cling to Dust and Natural Order and just see if I can spike Caracas and maybe continue playing this game. Got a 1-outer. And they even have another Natural Order in hand, so they even just like hoof me if I draw this. Really nothing going on here. That's good. All right. Oh, I thought I was having fun there for a minute. Opposition Agent comes in. Fatal Push, Sheoldred's Edict. I could see an argument for Pithing Needle. They have Grist and Elvish Reclaimer and Fiend Artisan in the deck. Okay, I'm convinced. Cling to Dust doesn't really matter. Changeling Outcast can back off a little bit. I kind of like Voidwalker. They're not really a graveyard deck, but they do use their graveyard at least a little bit. Even if it's just the Reclaimer. It might just be all Changelings out here. Too bad. I like those guys. In we go. I have a Grief and a removal spell. I will keep my hand. And I think I'm actually just going to Swamp Pass here. Like, they're a deck that wants to be on board with creatures and junk. Like, if they go Bayou, Thoughtseize, me, that's the one thing they can really do to start this game that doesn't put a creature into play. Where Fatal Push just lines up perfectly. Like so. If I can just work my way up to... Well, there we go. 4 mana. Alright, now I can Shulch's Edict whatever they play this turn, grief them next turn, and then troll from there, question mark profit. Sage is your land. Elvish Reclaimer. They are representing Veil of Summer, which doesn't stop Edict, but does stop Grief. But Grief is still a 3-2. 3-2 Menache. And I think leading on Grief is better than leading on Nazgul. You just don't care about that. Grief, yeah. Okay. You have a Thoughtseize and no black mana. You have a Bowmaster and no black mana. Natural Order, Endurance, Fiend Artisan. Fiend Artisan is the only thing that can be cast in this hand. I'm just going to take the obvious face-up situation and hope that they don't immediately spike a black card or black land. I hope they draw lots of black cards. Didn't even have to fetch for it, just the Bayou. All right, I'm losing my Nazgul. Truly shattered. Big sad. Someday I'll face an opponent who doesn't draw exactly what they need on the exact moment that it's available to them. Bowmaster rips, though. That's going to answer their Bowmaster. If they try to, like, Bowmaster me, get a double block on Menace, and which is what their hand currently can do, my Bowmaster is going to chew them up. Oh, the whip! Get ready, nerds. Unfortunately, I have to Bowmaster this turn. Oh, they didn't take the bait. Interesting. Does that mean it's their plan to Endurance me? Is Endurance even good here? I'm not convinced. All right, I'm just going to pass. Okay, Endurance. We'll clear out my graveyard before I put a troll in it. Yeah, not going for the trade on Bowmaster was either smart or reckless, but it worked out well. Halfling. That means they can natural order, or they could have natural ordered anyway. Do I want to cycle this troll? If I play Bowmaster, then they Bowmaster me. It costs 8 to play and activate Whip. I think cycling the troll is fine. Because this way I could play Whip and play Bowmaster, which is just really funny and awesome. Oh, I can also cast this troll now. If they double block, I can clear the Endurance with Bowmaster and then follow up with Troll. How do I want to do this? Knowing natural orders in their hand is some shit. Okay, I'm going to attack, and then I'm going to hardcast Troll. Unless they block, and then I'll use Bowmaster to finish off their things. They're using their Bowmaster here. Okay, that's out of the way, and they did go face, which is great. Because now if they line up a double block... Oh, they just didn't even block. They're going to try to hoof me next turn, that's what's happening. Really wish I had played my whip last turn. I'd be up 6 life. Okay, what happens if I whip right now? I go to 15. Orcish Bowmasters has lifelink, so I gain life on the ping. Alright, I'm playing the whip. Post-combat feels bad, but my plan was to blow out the Endurance, which they did not fall for. Oh, this can fetch a Dryad Arbor. So annoying. Okay, I don't know if I'm alive here or not. Natural order happens. They're going to get hoof. I'm going to ping their Bowmaster in response to the hoof trigger. That gains me 1 life. I don't think I'm close to alive here. 16. Functionally 18. Yeah, I think if I had played that whip pre-combat... I haven't done the math yet, but we're about to find out. It'll show us. -6. Okay, no, even if I played it, I was still just dead to hoof there. Okay. Whip, pretty close to taking over this game. I was about to start whipping Trolls of Khazad-dûm out of the graveyard. Alright, opponent. Keep your little secrets. On to the final round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the draw for the final round. Positive record hangs in the balance, and I'm rewarded with a no-lander. Gonna mulligan. Okay, I will keep this hand. And I'm going to send Swamp to the bottom. Prismatic Vista can turn on the Fatal Push, if I need that to be a thing. Island Ponder. Okay. Opponent has taste and class, but I still hope we defeat them. Ancient Tomb, what does that do? I think I still lead on Prismatic Vista, because if my opponent leads on Prismatic Vista, I am never in my life thinking, oh, this is mono black. This does turn off the fetch, turn on Fatal Push line for later. Island, Sapphire Medallion. Oh no. Whatever I thought was going to happen is not going to happen. Okay. Bowmaster seems really important to the plan here, and I'm going to cycle this Troll of Khazad-dûm and see if I can high roll on a reanimate backup Bowmaster. Maybe I'm supposed to play Ancient Tomb and ignore my life total here. Or that plays around days. That was loosey-goosey. I should have played this off Ancient Tomb, but it did resolve. And I do like main phasing it, so we don't get into the cat and mouse game of I Bowmaster and then you brainstorm in response. Let's just put it into play. See what this Sapphire Medallion deck can do in the face of a Bowmaster. Spellseeker is a good start. I wonder if there's some like deterministic snap tendrils line that's about to happen. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. High Tide. Okay, that's for next turn. Sheoldred's Edict. I don't think that card is helpful. I failed to play around days last turn. Am I going to make the same mistake now? I could also just have 2 Bowmasters in play. All right, I'm just going to attack with the Bowmaster that I have, or the Orc army that I have. And I think sitting back on Bowmaster plus Sheoldred's Edict might be the tricky solution here, because if they do have a line that involves snapping their Spellseeker, I can stuff that with the Edict and get them with the surprise second Bowmaster. Likewise, if they try to snap my Orc army, I can... Oh, pinging it with the Bowmaster doesn't actually kill it. Never mind. I was about to say that fizzles the snap, but that's not true. Okay, here we go. Sheoldred's Edict. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. And if they fight over this, the Bowmaster comes in, also kills the Spellseeker. I hope they need this. Brainstorm. Got him. Okay, can they win over the top of this, or are they about to get BTFO'd? Ping the Spellseeker. Now they take 6 from this Brainstorm. The Echoing Truth fizzles. How do we do? Okay, they take 6. I get a gigantic creature. Sheoldred's Edict doesn't do anything. Echoing Truth doesn't do anything. And let's see if they can continue this thing or if they're just passing. They are just passing the turn. I have 10 power in play, just short of winning the game. Do I reveal my Nazgul technology? I could Nazgul and reanimate. Oh, Spellseeker can tutor another reanimate. Like, I could reanimate Spellseeker, tutor something. Is there a spell that wins me the game right now? I could reanimate Spellseeker, grab Thoughtseize. I actually think that's sick, and I don't think they'll be able to beat it. Though, if I reintroduce this Spellseeker, they might be able to bounce it and use it to their advantage. Oh, this is tricky. Okay, well, I'm going to Thoughtseize them, and if they bounce Spellseeker in response, I'll take Spellseeker. Fine. Grab this Thoughtseize, have a look at your hand. They are snapping my Orc army in response. I'm not going to Fatal Push this. I could, and it would fizzle the snap, but I don't think I'm that worried about anything that might happen here. Oh, double Time Spiral in your hand. I'm not the one who needs to be worried here. Reveal the Nazgul technology. I'm not going to do it, but remember, I'm making the Wraith noise in my brain right now. It's time to ride, my shadowy brethren. Okay. They found a land. Ha 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 ha! The ghouls continue. Never stop nosing. And it gives the first Nazgul +2. And I'm going to keep Orcish Bowmaster as a ring bearer. And now I loot on my attacks. Loot. We don't need this Fatal Push. Does Graveyard Hate matter at all? Or should I just try to spike a Thoughtseize right now? Sometimes these decks play Mission Briefing or Snapcaster Mage. I think I'm going to chill on the Cling to Dust, just in case. Opponent's at 1. Mystic Sanctuary, look at me. Just fucking rocket scientist over here. That's also a card that exists in decks. Ding! We did it, Reddit. Okay, so now they have to do what? They only have 5 mana, which is the cost of the Time Spiral in their hand. So even if they draw a bounce spell, it would have to be Snap. They would have to draw exactly... But that only answers one of the things. Yeah, I don't know what outs they had there. Okay, feel like we got away with something there. Orcish Bowmaster just hard carrying. Damping Sphere, huge for this matchup. If a land is tapped for 2 or more mana, it makes colorless. Got him there. If a spell... Each spell a player costs 1 more cast for each other spell their turn. Got him there too. Damping Sphere just tailor-made to randomly hate High Tide. A deck that does not seem to need any hate. Okay, I don't think we need to whip. This is the only time I'm boarding whip out. Although this only came up once and in a spot where it was too late in this league. I actually think this tech is pretty reasonable. You can disagree, but I think it makes sense given what the deck is trying to do. Pithing Needle, Retrofitter, Palantir. Do I want Palantir in this matchup? I don't really want to tap out for something like that, but Children's Edict. We did see the Spellseeker, though Bowmasters jacks that thing up. Maybe Palantir is better than Changeling Outcast here. Okay, I'm doing this. Oof, I have the Thoughtseize. I am going to keep this, but we might end up with mana problems. I'd very much like to draw a Grief, a Troll, or just run a runner lands here. A Nazgul. Count it. I'm going to start with Changeling Outcast because high-tide decks usually can't go off until turn 3 anyway. What's the rush? Recycling or Revealed. How about the land? How about the Troll? They're brainstorming in the upkeep. Good idea. Playing around Bowmaster, but playing into Thoughtseize. Good thought. I just have the other half of my deck. I found the nuts. Finding Troll is better than finding a land there because now I also have my Reanimate set up. And we send a Thoughtseize in. How's your Brainstorm? 2 Echoing Truths, a Lorien Revealed Time Spiral. Interesting. Maybe I just take Time Spiral, call it a day. Though Lorien Revealed, I'm going to take the Time Spiral. That's the one that goes off if they find a high tide. And I am applying pressure with my mighty Changeling Outcast. And the hand I've left them with is pretty susceptible to Opposition Agent if I hit a land here. Land number 3. They're not giving me a chance to oppo. B-Storm. Wow. The Lorien Revealed and still shuffle. That felt really awkward to me. But maybe they knew what they were doing. Drawing the Swamp here and oppoing would be so sick. Oh my god, we did it. I actually get to do a little bit of everything here. I get to attack with a Changeling, and then I get to reanimate my Troll. And surely I wouldn't have anything else after that. They can decide if they want to Echoing Truth my Troll, but if they cycle Lorien Revealed, then they're tapped out of Echoing Truth, and I just BTFO them. Alright, they just took the untap, sure. Scalding Tarn's in play. Okay, I'm going for the oppo here. Maybe they just bounce both my things, but maybe they don't, and they're in trouble. Maybe they put back one of these Echoing Truths on their Brainstorm. Maybe they don't have 2 of those anymore. I don't know. Let's find out. By trying to snag the Lorien Revealed, I definitely gave them this Scalding Tarn. It's unfortunate. Mystic Sanctuary. Oh no, they found the line. Well, I'm tapped out of Cling to Dust. Time Spiral on top. I am attacking for 10 here. Let's see if that's something they want to have a thought about. I drew a Swamp. I'm going to Nazgul. This makes it an attack for 11. And I'm going to make the 2/2 Changeling Outcast my Ring Bearer. Send the team. I expect a couple of Echoing Truths in combat here. At least the one to knock the Troll out. I've conveniently left up 2 mana, which is the number required to get Time Spiraled into a Bowmaster and possibly have some counterplay once they're going off. But I feel like Critical Mass is nigh upon us. Oh my god, they forgot about the oppo. Thanks for the island, sucker. Shame concede. Shame concede. Oh, they're sticking it out. What a boss. Okay, I'm going to cycle my Troll. I know I'm almost at Hardcast mode, but if I get 6 mana, I want to double spell the Nazgul and the Palantir. Oh my goodness, Bowmaster. Nazgul. This adds 4 power to my attacking squad right now. I'm going to keep Changeling Outcast as the Ring Bearer, who now also knows how to loot. And I will send this exactly lethal attack down the barrel, see if they have another bounce spell. I loot away a Swamp. They appear to have another Echoing Truth, which will send 2 Nazguls back to my hand. Do you not respect the ETB triggers of the mighty Nazgul? Okay. I am just going to pass here. They are dead on board, and I have Bowmaster if they try to do anything. This might have been a main phase Bowmaster situation, but I think we're clear anyway. Nice. A positive record with Nazgul, Scam, and Legacy. And it's easy to say that, yeah, Mono Black Stompy is already a deck. Mono Black Scam is already a deck. You could just replace 9 cards in the deck with blanks and the deck is still viable. That's a cynical way to look at this. But also the Nazgul stuff actually added up. When you have 2 or 3 of these going, your creatures get so big so fast, and the ring tempting you and just being in looter mode, and we killed at least one opponent with the Chapter 4 ring bolts. When the creature is connected, call the ring, just triggering multiple times per turn, drawing tons of cards is bonkers. It's possible this card's supposed to be a 3 or 4 of in the deck, actually. Whip of Erebos, I already gave my talk about that. I think this card makes sense conceptually, even though it didn't come together particularly well in this 5-game set. Play more matches, let me know. Dauthi Voidwalker was just kind of a perhaps cowardly thing to just... I wanted something that interacts with the format on a reasonable way while filling in a spot on my curve. Maybe if you were just fully committed to this Nazgul party, you make it into a Changing Outcast and a Call of the Ring, and you're just deeper on the Nazgul ring stuff. But Dauthi Voidwalker, obviously, undebatably, legacy playable card. This deck was super sweet. I have no complaints. I'm genuinely impressed by the card Nazgul, especially when you get them in multiples, and because you get to play way too many of them, you frequently have them in multiples. Very cool deck, very cool idea. Aaron, Tim, thank you for sharing it with us. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.